Welcome to another chatty bookish video. Welcome to my weekly recap. My name is Cyril and I'm going to be showing you some books I've read this week, some books I've got my hands on this week, and some things I've been up to this week. So I hope you enjoy. I haven't broken my book buying ban or my spending ban in general. I haven't broken it, guys. I have a friend who appears to have the Library of Alexandria in her own home. And every time I finish a book and give it back to her, she brings me she literally brought me 6 more today. So last week you would have seen that I was reading Stone of Tears by Terry Goodkind. I finished that this week. I was barely into it when I showed you guys last week. But I finally got over my dead exhaustion every afternoon and I finished the book. It was amazing. I don't have it with me because I returned it to my friend, but oh my gosh, it was so fantastic. I've never been more vocal while reading a book than I was while reading that. Just yelling at the book, being I felt every emotion. I don't want to spoil it because I want everyone to read Wizard's First Rule. Read the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind. It is insanely underrated. You will never see, at least I've never seen anyone mention it on booktube and book talk, but you should. Oh my god, it's so good. I just can't even describe it. I'm so in love with the characters, so in love, and it's so frustrating. Something happened in Stone of Tears where my heart rate got so high. I had to take a 10-minute break and have a breather and message my friend in all caps to be like, what the fuck? But it was really good. I don't know if you can hear that car alarm going off in the background. Sorry if you can, but we're gonna push through. I have 2 stacks of books here because some of the books I talked about, the fact that I had ordered last time, they have arrived, so I've got them with me. I finished a couple of the books that I had bought, and I have 6 more from my friend to show that will be coming up. But I wanted to start with the book I'm now reading off my non-fiction TBR. As I mentioned last time, I have a few non-fiction books that I want to work my way through. This was one of them that I mentioned. I have not read any more since I've pulled it off my bookshelf, but I just keep it here in the living room in hopes that I'll pick it up while I'm sitting on the couch and have a read and tear through it. But I'm already just under halfway through this book, so realistically I don't have too much more to read, but the text is super tiny and the book is a lot of pages. Thankfully there's quite a few references at the end, but it is about 730 pages and I am 375 in, so that's not too bad really. But it's Alexander Hamilton, the biography by Ron Chernow. I bought this when I went and saw Hamilton in 2022. I read a bunch of it then, but I just haven't picked it back up since. But it's really good, and I actually recommend to read a book like this, a proper biography about Alexander Hamilton, because when I tell you, Lin-Manuel Miranda took a lot of creative liberties. Most of the things that happen in the musical are not at all like how the real story was. So yeah, this will be the non-fiction book I'll probably be working my way through for the next month. Something like that. Depends how fast I can get through it. Other than Stone of Tears this week, I finished A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows by Holly Renee. This was one of the books I showed last week that I had bought. This I read in probably 4 hours maybe. It's not very long. It's only under 400, oh, it's under 300 pages, I think. It's 272 pages, so it's not long at all. It only took me a few hours. I had a great time with this book. I'm going to read, I think this isn't extremely well known, so I'm going to read the blurb to you on the back and then give my spoiler-free thoughts. So it says, Destiny or desire, where does your allegiance lie? I am told my union to the crown prince will determine the fate of the kingdom, but it isn't my betrothed who haunts my dreams, it's the half-breed prince who stands at his side. He is darkness and sin, and when he whispers promises of wickedness in my ears, I crave a man who I can't have. Every thought I have is treasonous, the way my hands ache to touch him, deceitful. Even my dreams make me a traitor to the kingdom I am sworn to protect. But when the kingdom is attacked, I'm forced to make choices I'm not prepared for. Our lies and deception are entangled in the shadows and stars, and as they unravel, so shall my fate. Betray a kingdom or betray my heart. It sounds a lot more spicy than it actually is. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I picked this one up out of all the books I bought last week because I thought it's short. I had just tackled a book that was over 1,000 pages, and I was like, I'll ease my way back into it. And I thought, at least if it's short, it'd be like easing myself back into dark romance, because I haven't read a dark romance in a long time. This is not dark romance. I wouldn't say it's dark romance at all, and it's hardly even smut. Like, yeah, it's smutty, but not really. If I had to give it like a spice scale out of 5, it's maybe a 3 out of push. It's really not that spicy, but it is beautiful. I had a great time reading this. I actually gave it 5 out of 5, even though, like, this might seem crazy because I gave Stone of Tears a 5 out of 5, and that was like an epic masterpiece, just amazing. And then this is nothing like that at all, but I had a really great time. I tore through it, I enjoyed myself, and that's why it gets a 5 out of 5. The car alarm is still going off, what the flip. But yeah, what I will say is that it is not really a dark romance, because he doesn't seem all that bad. It's not that smutty, which was good. Don't get me wrong, that was good. And yeah, I had a great time. It was more fantasy than I thought it would be. Yeah, it didn't really give away too much on the back. Like, it says he's a half-breed prince, but I didn't know half-breed of what. So she's like in the Fae kingdom, and then so it's like Fae and vampires, and her love interest is half vampire, half Fae. But yeah, I was so worried because of the content warning page. It is not even. I'm not scared of like violence, assault, and sexual assault like it says. Sexual assault, where in this book? Like, only if you apply the absolute loosest definition of the phrase would there be sexual assault in this book, in my opinion. But that being said, maybe don't take my word for it. I am like literally a law student, extremely interested in criminal law, and I work in, like, I guess a violent sort of trade, so maybe my ideas of violence are like not what's PC and not what's accepted now. But I guess if you see the worst of the worst, like, everything seems kind of dull in comparison, but that's beside the point. I had a great time. This was so easy to read. The writing style's really clear, really basic. The text is really big through here, and then I love on each chapter it starts on like a black page with the white writing, but it's not too hard to read. I had a great time reading it. The chapters aren't long at all. They're about 10 pages per chapter, sometimes a little bit over, sometimes a little bit under. But yeah, I had a great time. I liked the main character. She wasn't really too annoying, but maybe I didn't spend much time with her, obviously, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know much about any of the characters because the book is so short, but I actually do intend to read the sequel, so I'm hoping that next time I go to Books Ever After that they have the sequels in the special editions in there. I imagine that they do. I might have to have a look online, but yeah, probably I put on my want to read list the sequel to this because there's like a plot twist. That wasn't really a plot twist, it was quite obvious to me from the jump. But there's like a plot twist at the end, and I am intrigued to see how their relationship will continue in light of this enlightening facts that come out at the end. So yeah, I recommend this if you want like a simple read that's fantasy, it's enjoyable, it's a good time, it's not a massive investment, and not too smutty and not too dark. Yeah, I would recommend this. And then right after I finished that, I thought, you know what, let's just go balls to the walls, and I picked up Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton off my shelf. I am 56 pages in, and it's already been an interesting ride. If you were here last week, you would know that I opened this and nearly died at this dedication page. It is so funny. It's on the screen there if you'd like to read it. It's just, I can't take it seriously. And then I read like the content warnings. It is crazy. We're only 56 pages in, so you know, I don't know everything, but I already have suspicions about the backstory of our main character, Sawyer. Sawyer is very interesting. She's a risky individual, I would say. She's the opposite of me. Let's just say that. I'm the most boring individual in the world, and she seems like she leads a reluctantly exciting life, and she is an interesting person. So it'll be an interesting journey, I think, through this book. And I'm only 56 pages in, and they've banged like multiple times. So, you know, my only criticism, so obviously, like, I've read nothing, but my main criticism so far is just that how the fuck am I supposed to read that? And that's the title page for every chapter, is like this. I'm like reading like this. What the fuck? Like, did you have to make it that hard to read? But I mean, look, it's a beautiful concept. I think the text is just, the execution was poor. Yeah. Oh, and it's set in Australia. It's set in Port Valen on the East Coast, which is fictional. I had to Google it to double check because, like, I'm in Port Valen, Australia, and I was like, where the fuck is Port Valen? I've never heard of that before. It kind of sounds like it might be based on like Port Macquarie / Byron. I'm really not sure. Anyway, she's mentioned multiple things I thought were interesting. She mentioned spiders, of course. How our spiders are atrocious. That was obviously mentioned. They mentioned how expensive everything is. She says specifically Port Valen is expensive. I want to clarify, Port Valen seems cheap. Australia in general is expensive. She got like a packet of cigarettes and like a pregnancy test or something like that, and it was only $68. I was like, I've been to places where I've seen that a pack of like fucking pre-rolled cigarettes are $75 for one pack. So I can't believe you're getting a pregnancy test probably like $20. I don't know, I don't take pregnancy tests, but I thought $68, that's bloody cheap. What's she complaining about? So there's some things in here that are like sort of pointed on the nose if you're actually Australian references, but I did have one criticism as regards to the Australian setting. They are like at a bar, and she talks about the male main character Enzo putting money down to pay their tab. I was like, not in this country. Like, I don't know. It sounded like it was not a bar. It sounded like they were in a pub. And in a pub you would just pay for your drinks as you buy them. We don't really do the whole tab thing, because Australians would just walk out and not pay you. Yeah, that's not really our culture here. You sort of pay for things. Unless you're at like a sit down meal and like they're gonna really know and have an eye on you if you like get out of there. But yeah, if you're like at a pub, there's too many people there. And anyway, the picking up the tab thing, leaving the cash on the table to pick up the tab, I was like, that wouldn't work here. So someone would walk past and steal your cash if you left it on the table. But anyway, yeah, my other thing was I had to crack up laughing. Let me just find the page. Sorry, it's gonna be unnecessarily long because I basically almost refuse to edit anything in these videos to make my life easy. Oh, okay, it should be somewhere around here. I had to cackle laughing. Okay, I don't want to like spoil it. Anyway, right at the bottom of this page he says blah 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 Bella, and then right on the end of the pages, if he said something in Italian, because he's Italian, she'll put the translation there, and I'm like, I really don't think we needed the translation for the word Bella. It was like Bella, and it was like, Bella, beautiful. I literally cracked up laughing. I couldn't help myself. I don't know. I thought it was just so funny. But anyway, that's my thoughts so far on Does It Hurt, and I'm sure I will have a lot more to report next week. Okay, that's everything I've read this week. My orders. I'll talk through my Booktopia order first. So from Booktopia, one of my books hasn't come yet because they're waiting for stock at the warehouse. So the stock for the special edition, it's like special anniversary edition, I think, of A Court of Thorns and Roses, the black one with the gold foiling cover, that will not be in stock in the warehouse until the 27th of March, and it's only the 15th today. So I have to wait a while for that one. But my other 3 books I ordered from there are here. This is actually a little bit damaged now that I look at it. Oh, what a shame. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. It probably just happened in transit. Because I always just put books in a box and wrap it up. And I'm like, what about my hardcovers? Anyway. So I got Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This I am reading for book club, sort of. So we're just sort of setting up our book club. There's just a few of us. And one of my friends had an idea of we each take a book and that no one else has read, or the minimal amount of people in our group have read. We annotate it and then give it to the next person and they annotate it. And at the end, we end up with like a fully annotated by multiple people copy of a book. I don't really annotate books because to me it feels like, maybe this is not the right word, but it kind of feels like blasphemous or to write in a book and destroy a book. I know I don't think ill of people who mark their books, it's just not for me. But I bought a paperback of Bride specifically for us to annotate. I have not read this yet. I have read Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood before, and everyone rates her other books and everyone has had really good things to say about Bride, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Love a paranormal romance, and a lot of people on booktube seem to be like, oh, this is my first introduction to Omegaverse, and I'm like, you don't know Omegaverse. I've been there when it was written. I've been writing Omegaverse fanfiction for longer than you've even known about the term. You think a alpha shifter guy popping a knot makes Omegaverse? You have no idea. No idea. I've read the worst of the worst of the worst, but I'm taking the chance on some people in our book club not knowing anything about Omegaverse because I think it would be funny. So I basically chose this book for vindictive reasons because I wanted to see how people would annotate a possible first introduction to Omegaverse. So, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I will probably start that after Does It Hurt, but I might read something else simultaneously while I annotate that. I'm not sure yet. And then from Booktopia, I also got this anniversary edition of The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and the anniversary edition of Circe by Madeline Miller. When I finished my law degree, okay, maybe I should backtrack slightly. Growing up and as a teenager and stuff, I would always say to mum, like, oh mum, why don't you ever read a book? Like, because my mum would read magazines and stuff, but she wouldn't read a book. And she's like, Cyril, I did all my reading when I did my law degree. Once I finished my law degree, I was done with reading, because if you haven't studied law, you have to read a lot. It's like reading all the time, but not the fun kind of reading. And when I was going through my law degree, I felt that it was like you didn't really have time for it, and like, say you've been reading a textbook all day long, and it wasn't my first thought at the time to be like, time to sit down with a good book or just watch TV or something or play video games, something like that. But when I finished university, I had bought a Kindle because I'm in, like, against my will, part of this like longitudinal study for the government. And they give like a gift card with like $20 on it every time you do the longitudinal study. And I think this was the first year they had started doing the gift cards, and I picked to have it for Amazon, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this gift card and put it towards buying a Kindle. So I bought a Kindle, and then I'm almost certain the first book I read on my Kindle was Circe by Madeline Miller, and I don't know specifically what made me choose that book, but I'm glad I did, This book is what launched me back into reading, and this copy is just beautiful. I'm so glad to have it. On the back it says, "I will not be like a bird bred in a cage, I thought, too dull to fly even when the door stands open." Oh, there's things inside of it. What have I got? Oh yeah, the typical wine membership card. And oh, a little for what if. Anyway, the silliest vouchers you've ever seen. These are the end papers. Very pretty. I was so pleased when these arrived and they were the exact same size and the same design. Made me so happy. And then the Song of Achilles. Oh gosh, I absolutely adored this book. These are the end papers. On the back it says, I was just checking if there were any goodies. "We were like gods at the dawning of the world, and our joy was so bright we could see nothing else but the other." Madeline Miller is a fantastic writer. I'm so grateful for her books, and I really hope we get more from her soon. Oh, they're just beautiful. Okay. My loves. I think I'm going to do a reread of these this year, but I got to get through all the books I haven't read yet first. And then the next day, my order from Dimmicks arrived. So my dust jacket from Bluely Boo has not arrived yet. It has not even left, at least from what I can tell on tracking, it's not even left the UK yet, but it has been shipped. So it's going to be a while till I can put my nice dust jacket on here, in which case when that arrives, I will reshow it. Fourth Wing. It's the Australian special edition. Yeah. I had a great time with Fourth Wing, so I'm so glad to have it in hard copy. Beautiful map. It smells good. It smells really nice, actually. So I'm stoked to have this, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it with the dust jacket on. I think I might cry. Sometimes I go onto Bluely Boo and I look at the dust jacket just so I can feel happiness. I've had a weird week. A weird week. I've been so moody, and so like little things like looking at a dust jacket will just be enough to pick me up. I don't know why I've been so moody, but anyway. Cassandra Clare, Swordcatcher. I've not read this yet, so this one would not be a reread. This will be a new read. I was actually blown away by how pretty this book is, and I didn't know it would be so huge. It's massive, but look at it, it's gorgeous. And when I looked at it from the side, I thought, wow, looks gorgeous. Yeah, I love it. Oh, wow, hang on. I don't know anything about this book other than my friend said it's good and it's not Shadowhunters. Look at these end cards. I haven't... Oh, it's even pretty without the dust jacket on. Hang on. Let me take the dust jacket off. It's just plain on the front and back, but look at the sides. I was saying to a friend, it reminds me of like an old tome, and I was saying it with that, but now especially that the red's off, it looks like an old tome. Let me show you these end papers. Map. Isn't that gorgeous? Is it the same on the back? It's the same on the back as well, but it's so beautiful. I'm so excited. Oh, God, my arms are so sore. I've been doing just like YouTube workouts this week instead of going to the gym. I went to the gym one day this week. No, did I? Yeah, I did. I went to the gym on Sunday. I talked about that in my last vlog. But I haven't gone to the gym proper this week. I've just been doing workouts on YouTube. God, these skinny little Korean girls can kill your arms. Also, my fault though too, because I only have 5 kilo dumbbells, and I did this like Korean dumbbell workout. She's there with like little maximum tiny baby 1 kilo weights, and doing my arms are just so sore. It's like my shoulders and my upper arms are really sore. And then I did arms 2 days in a row because my philosophy was like, I'll just go into my YouTube subscriptions and I'll go through and like I'll watch the first video that comes up is the one I'll do today, and then the next video that comes up is the one I'll do tomorrow, and they both happen to be arm workouts. So and upper back workouts. My upper back is so sore. What do we have next? Okay, these are the goodies that my friend brought into work today. She's like, because you finished Stone of Tears, and I'm thinking, oh, she's brought the library with her. I didn't know she brought this much of the library with her, but we'll get started. So she brought me the next 4 books in the Archangel series by Nalini Singh. Angel's Blood, Angel's Kiss, Angel's Consort, and then it's this one, this one, this one. Oh shit, and this one. So I've got to read Angel's Blade, Archangel's Blade, Archangel's Storm, Archangel's Legion, and Archangel's Shadows. I'm excited. I'm pretty sure this book is the character Dimitri's book, and I love Dimitri. I've been telling her since the first book. I'm like, oh my god, I love Dimitri. So yeah, this is Dimitri's. I'm looking forward to this book. And then Storm. The covers on these are really, really nice. Legion. Shadows. I thought these were nice. These should be like fairly quick reads. I'm hoping my boyfriend's going to be away all next week and into the next. So I'm hoping by the time she comes back, not next Thursday, but the Thursday after, I would have torn through at least these, if not also these, the next 2 in the Sword of Truth series. So after Stone of Tears, which is the one I just finished, it's Blood of the Fold. I love these glossy covers. He has there's newer covers out now, so if I keep enjoying the series the way I do, I'll probably buy a full set of his, hopefully in hardback if they come in hardback, but if not, I might have to settle for the paperbacks. These are probably my second favorite covers. My first favorite, oh, I don't have my Kindle here to show you, but my first favorite are like the newer covers that are for this series. The newer covers for this series kind of look like the new covers for Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. It's kind of like a similar vibe to that, where it's like white and then it will have like a blue sort of design or whatever on there. So if I bought them, I'd probably buy them with those covers, but this glossy covers are my second favorite. Like, I think this is supposed to be Richard and Kaylin here. I don't know. I love it. Oh my god. I didn't know. I was actually reluctant to read Stone of Tears, like, hence why I didn't launch like right into it after the first one on my Kindle, because I thought, I don't know, I'd read some stuff online, and I should never read stuff online about books because everyone else is wrong all the time. So I was hesitant to go into Stone of Tears because I thought, oh, I've heard this and this are gonna happen later down the track, and I talked to my friend, she was like, that's not true at all. I'm so glad I read Stone of Tears. It's amazing. And I really hope Blood of the Fold is just as good. This is not as long. She brought it in and I thought, oh, it's still quite long. But it's not nearly as intimidating. It's only 650 pages. The last one was 1050. So I'll take what I can get. I'm looking forward to this. But I'm going to have a break from it first. I'm going to finish Does It Hurt? I'll read Nalini Sings. I'll hopefully start annotating Bride. And then I'll read Blood of the Fold. Then the next book after that. This one has a different cover and it's different heights. So forgive that. This is not a me thing. This is the matte cover version of Temple of the Winds. So excited. I heard they just get like better and better. This one I had a flick through. Actually has a map in it. For some reason, the version with these covers do not have maps in them. So the last book, sometimes they talk about places, and I'm thinking like, and they're talking about how to get from like wherever they were in this one place to Nicobarice, and then having to go backtrack from Nicobarice to Aidendrill. And I'm like, I would love to see this in my mind, so I would know. But there's no map in this. And I wasn't gonna like bust out my Kindle to fucking try and look at the map on my Kindle. That was not about to happen. But the matte cover versions, it's faded. She doesn't know why it's faded, but it's cool. But I prefer the glossy covers. But the matte cover version does have a map in the back, which is very helpful. Very helpful indeed to understand where they actually are. Oh, that's cool. These books are so underrated. So underrated. There's so many of them. I really hope they continue to be good. So all the books. Wizard's First Rule, which was great. Stone of Tears, which was excellent. Then Blood of the Fold, then Temple of the Winds, then Soul of the Fire, Faith of the Fallen, Pillars of Creation, Naked Empire, Dead Bones, Chainfire, Phantom, Confessor, and then I think there's 3 more since Confessor came out, if I'm not mistaken. I said after Stone of Tears, I said to my friend, please tell me that Richard and Kaylin are getting married in the next book, and she was like, oh, I actually don't really remember. I was like, no. Please let them get married. He's like fucking spiritually married to these other women. But they finally boned. I couldn't believe it when it happened. It was like not graphic, like Terry Goodkind's not a smutty writer. He's actually really good at writing like the sort of the chemistry, the sexual tension between Richard and Kaylin. But he didn't write like explicit smut or anything like that, which I didn't expect that he would, but it was still so good. I was just so happy that it happened. Oh my gosh. I would love to do like a spoiler filled talk about it one day. Oh my god, it was so good. I cannot describe how good Stone of Tears was. I wish someone would read it. If any of you out there have read the Sword of Truth series, please tell me what you think. At least talking about all this makes me happy. I was in such a shitty mood before I sat down. I was like feeling so tired. I was like, I'm just gonna sit down and film. Like, I'll just do it because I got all the books out. And then I sat down and I looked at the books and I was like, that's what I mean. I'm so moody. My mood's like this week. No, I'm not on the rag before anyone thinks to ask. I have endometriosis. I'm on 75 medications so that I'm never on the rag. Yeah. I have a group meeting for uni tomorrow morning because we have an assignment that involves group work. I'm not quite sure why we need a meeting. One of the guys in my group said it was like to divide the workload. I'm like, what work? And it's hard to explain, but because of the nature of the assignment, I'm like, what do you mean divide the workload? We just so shove our ideas into a Google Doc, format it into a table, like a matrix, and then we each use that table and the rest of the work we do individually. But I don't know. We'll see what they say in the meeting tomorrow. But I wish it wasn't happening. I wish it wasn't happening. There was an option to do it individually, but then I started it and I was like, it would be a good idea to get more people's ideas in it, just because we have to come up with like I'll just tell you, it doesn't really matter. We have to come up with like an intelligence collection plan. And like I've brainstormed things for that would be like interests, but I haven't. You can only go so far when you're one mind. It's better to be 3 minds than 1 mind. So yeah. I have that to look forward to. I don't really want to do it. I think I just need, like, I've had a lot of alone time this week, but I think I need more of it. I think I just need a really good sleep tonight and I might feel better. I've been sleeping well this week, but I'm getting up a lot in the night to go to the bathroom because I drink like an insane amount of water, like a problematic amount of water probably. Last night was better. I didn't get it up again. English. I didn't get up at all last night, which was good. And I went to bed a little bit earlier, but I'm still so tired today and just kind of like grouchy in a weird way. Like having friends who want to hang out and I'm just kind of feeling like I don't want to. And like, yet I have things on. So like I could get out of hanging out with someone tonight because I have the group meeting tomorrow morning. But yeah, it's just like this idea of having people in my space at the moment makes me quite anxious. Like I've invited one of my friends over this Sunday, and this is nothing on her. It has nothing to do with her. She's not done a thing wrong. It's just me. For some reason, I'm having this weirdness. I go through phases like this. I'm sure we can all relate. I think anyone who I am E/INFJ. Depending what time of the year it is, if I take test, the MBTI test, I fluctuate between extroverted and introverted. I would say most of the time I'm extroverted, but I think I go through periods where I'm really introverted and I really need the time alone to recharge. As much fun as I have with people, yeah, and just this week at least I've been feeling very protective over my personal space, but I have invited my friend over this Sunday. We were supposed to go somewhere, but the weather looks like it's going to be bad, and I'd honestly just prefer to stay at home than go out somewhere. And also I said I'm not spending any money, and she wants to go somewhere where there's $10 entry. It's like, what? I don't want to spend any money, not even $10 to go into a sunflower field, okay? So hopefully we stay home and I'll cook us like lunch and dinner and stuff, and we can just coexist in the same space, and that would be nice. Yeah, no fault of hers, just 100% on me and me being a moody ass bitch. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say. I haven't really done much other than read this week. I've been extremely dedicated to my task. Oh, I was thinking in regards to YouTube. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube as well, and I do want to do eventually like the proper reading vlog style videos, but I would need a tripod for this little thing here, which I don't have at the moment, and I'm not going to buy this month because I'm no spending this month. No. But I'm thinking if that's something that people would be interested in. Not that I get tons of feedback around here anyway. But if for some reason more people watch this video and they get to this point and they feel inclined to comment, let me know if you'd be interested in proper reading vlogs, because I think it can be fun. And I'm reading anyway, so why not vlog it? And I think that would be cool, because that way I could see my reactions to these books, and I could do like spoiler-filled reading vlogs. I think that would be cool. Anyway, that's all from me. Yeah, I think that's all. I don't think there's anything more I want to talk about. We'll leave it there. Nothing I say is important anyway. I don't know why you're here if you're still here. Bye. До свидания.